Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of today, Sunday, January 3rd, through Saturday, January 9th. This week, Venus enters Capricorn. Okay, she leaves Sagittarius, goes into Capricorn. I discussed what that means at length in the general reading. Also, I talked about the month of Adar on the Hebrew calendar beginning on the 5th of this month. It really starts like on the afternoon of the 4th. Everything is at sundown, you know, in both the Hebrew and Islamic traditions. Everything starts the night before the holiday, the day that we're given for the holiday, at sundown. So that's when that's going to begin. And I left something out that starts the same exact day, or that occurs the same exact day. And I am so sorry. I meant nothing by it. Chinese New Year. It is the year of the pig. I'm a pig myself. At least as far as the Chinese zodiac, a metal pig to be exact, a first wife, best wife in the Chinese zodiac. First is in top, you know, not necessarily first is in the first one to marry. First is in best, Chinese tradition. I talked in my old videos when I was getting to know you guys on a more personal level. I told you about how I used to go to Chinese school every Saturday with Jean and Joho, and 4 hours every Saturday to learn to speak Chinese. And I had very, very close friends that were Chinese, and I have Asian people in my family. So other types of Asian. In any case, I'm going to try to, just like I said in the general reading, try to get through this reading in enough time that I'm able to upload it without too much to do, because I do not have my large capacity laptop. I had to send it back to the manufacturer for a battery recall that was really causing me a headache. So in the meantime, I've just been doing like client readings, and I owe a couple of people some. I think I have like 4 to do. And I will do and get to you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Let's get to it. So because I forgot Chinese New Year, I'm going to do a spread with that first, with my fortune cards, because the Chinese New Year is all about celebrating fortune, and the year of the pig is about wealth and abundance. So, okay, we're speaking of abundance and wealth. We're starting with spend money, email, and weekend away. I moved the light again, so I hope everybody can see the dice and stuff. I moved the light again so that people could see the orbs more clearly. They were able to be seen, but it was so bright in here, and I'm not sure why, because I never changed my lamp or bulb or anything, but it just got, like, over the past few months, really bright in here, and difficult to see. So I tried to move it. I hope it worked. Anyway, Spirit says it's 50-50. Still weekend away. And party. Maybe we're celebrating some Aquarians. Happy birthday to anybody that's celebrating a birthday this week or anything else. February is a huge month for marriages. When I was married back in 1995, I got married in February, but it's like one of the biggest months, I guess, because of Valentine's Day. So some people may be celebrating anniversaries too. Happy anniversary if you are. And, you know, whatever you may be celebrating, you know, party on. Maybe there's a Super Bowl party today. Some of you guys may be watching the Super Bowl. I'm still boycotting, but, you know, anybody that is celebrating, you know, no hate, no hate. You know, everybody do their own thing and make their own decisions. So speaking of the Super Bowl, I've been doing these readings for 2 years. March will be the 3rd year. March 10th will be the 3rd year. And I have been predicting things like the Super Bowl and have not been wrong yet. So with that, I have not been wrong yet, including last year when the Eagles were the tremendous underdog. And in fact, after I predicted that win, I started telling people, like, if you're still watching a psychic that didn't predict the Super Bowl, don't. Like, really don't. Like, what are you watching? But, again, that's your business too. But there's a lot of people out here that don't have an intuitive bone in their body. If they do, they have not tapped into it yet, but they're, taking your time, energy, and money anyway. But anyway, this last year, I was in the grocery store, I remember, and I was buying, I think, crap for Super Bowl, like chips and shit. And I was standing in line, the line where the registers have my Divine Masculine's name imprinted on them, like the manufacturer of the belts for the registers in my local grocery store. So I have to see his name like every day. Is my Divine Masculine's name. In any case, I was standing in line and seeing that, and then all of a sudden I had this vision of eagles, and this thought about Mother, Divine Mother, also being an eagle. Which Isis, Isis is an eagle, basically. And my spirit animal, of course, is an eagle. And so it was like with that moment, the boop, like the light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, the Eagles are going to win. And similarly, this week, a couple days ago, I woke up and I had this thought, like, the first thing you're thinking of when you wake up in the morning. Mine was that, like, government, patriots, was being taken down, like sheep were awakening and fighting back, maybe essentially ramming back. A ram is a sheep, right? And I was like, what the hell? And then the light bulb went off, and I was like, oh, this is about the Super Bowl, the Rams versus the Patriots. Yeah, so I think the Patriots are going down. And if you guys win, if they do, and you guys win anything, I'll be expecting my tithes. All right, on that note, we're beginning with Owl. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. So I'm first doing, again, a fortune spread for us all. And opening to Phoenix. Be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. So rising from the ashes, if you've been going through some sort of strife up until this period, which many of us have, things began to ease off in like January and hopefully progressively getting better for you. That card says they will continue. And opening to the Chariot, which of course is about continuing to move forward, all steam ahead. Charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. Owl. And one more. Aww. It is love. Love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. So I began to manifest already some of the stuff from the general reading. I turned off my phone last night, so that I could charge, because I am working with, less, subpar as compared to what I normally use equipment right now. So I turned my phone off so it would charge more quickly, and I just forgot to ever turn it back on. And when I woke up, I had a picture sent to me of Virgo, and it was like the feminine yesterday was crowned by, I think it was the Page of Earth, which represents the sign of Virgo to me, and also the 9 of Earth. And I said for some of you, it could be coming into contact with an Earth sign, maybe particularly a Virgo. So for me, it has already begun. We'll see what else goes on as far as the love and all these other energies that are surrounding us. So anyway, I've come to Thorns. Weathering the challenges ahead will bring in a new and positive future. So some of us still having something to battle, but we can see the sun back there. And so the fire, the passion, and the ashes from which even those people still going through it will rise. And speaking of good fortune, the overall energy is luck. You are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. So this will be like our energy now, and the recent past. I'll do it similar to my other cross spread, my custom personalized cross spread. The near future, and what our higher selves want us to know about our fortune. Something that may be trying to get in the way of our progress. but what we can focus on ourselves, the feminine and the masculine, to help ourselves out of any blockages and obstacles. What the universe suggests to us, but we'll have to affirm to it, commit to that, and an outcome, like an ultimately our fortune for this week shared. And of course, particularly as it relates to love. Starting with death. A time of natural transition and transformation. So again, leaving like an old stale energy perhaps, or just one with which we're done, right? With which we no longer align, and moving into a fresh one. Having gone through a metamorphosis from a caterpillar, entering a cocoon as a caterpillar and emerging as a beautiful butterfly. Recent past, maybe something that triggered this. Ooh. Marriage, people coming together, or you beginning to attract the energy of emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. That could have caused you to let go of some old stuff where unconditional love and emotional fulfillment didn't exist or didn't exist anymore. So letting go of that recent past has helped us with that. Near future. Oh, beware. Be careful of who you trust at this time. So watch it. There could be some charlatans ahead. People who are not coming from a place of unconditional love. And you're going to have to rely on your wisdom, intellect, intuition, gut feelings, sort of high priestess-ish. What our higher self wants us to know about our fortune. It is a lion. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. So be cautious, but don't be afraid, because you've got what you need to keep moving. Flocks. Chariot. So the fear of charging ahead with confidence is the block. You can easily overcome this obstacle yourself by staying strong and focused and remembering what your higher self just told you. Okay, that's why these two cards are here crossing one another. Additionally, what the feminine can do to help herself besides staying strong and focused, and it is being prepared to be renewed after any period of crisis. So if you do encounter something, you're going to be restored. You're going to be revived. You're going to be able to continue to keep it moving anyway, like despite whatever this is. And masculine. Love. This is what you can do. Love surrounds all your connections. Move forward positively in all areas of your life. And I do love how love is crossing marriage. Further, what the universe recommends, what you'll both have to affirm to it is boom! Unity, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. I want you to know the lamp has moved on its own. You guys have been seeing my hands. I've been talking. I've been right here in front of you. The lamp has moved, and I'm sure you can now see the glare because I can, which is very interesting. In any case, unity, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. So this is the fortune that the universe has for us, for our taking. We have to affirm that we're ready to, put in the effort with what we can do for ourselves and getting the obstacles out of our way, to having this. And then the universe, we affirm to it, the universe will help us, will give us full support in doing that. And then ultimately our fortune for the week for everybody, it is devil. Take care immediately to avoid temptation and deceit. So you could have more than one suitor. You could have all these things like this, something that's trying to distract you from the unity. Something that's trying to distract you from this energy of unconditional love and to get you to come to it instead. And that's of what we need to beware, I'm sure, as well. And it may be something that is comfortable to you, or someone that is comfortable to you. And so you're like, well, maybe I should just stick with them and not move forward, because that doesn't require me to use any energy. That doesn't require me to get rid of my fear. That doesn't require me to believe in myself and have confidence. That just requires me to, you know, sit right here where I am and allow them to come into my life. This is the outcome. This is what the universe is telling us not to do. Of course, you still have your own free will, and you will do as you will with that. But this is the recommendation for the week. If you want this, leave this alone. Now, from the perspective of the divine masculine, we're beginning with transience, which is a card all about healing. I'm trying to move the lamp again. Okay, this card is about healing head to toe and surrender. So allowing the universe to come in and to heal you inside and out and head to toe. Also this week, I didn't mention, not only is the sun in Aquarius, Mercury is also in Aquarius as of last week, and the moon enters Aquarius. New moon in Aquarius also on the 4th. So the 4th is a busy day, a very, very high energy day. Anyway, opening to expectancy, which is a card about, it's the opposite of surrender, actually. This is like us trying to force our will on the universe or on God. And like our timing, our way, our, you know, the object of our affections and how we want it and when we want it, rather than surrender and allowing. So we're guided to let go of this. Oh. Expectancy and message from afar. Right. If you are stuck in this energy, you could be blocking blessings that the universe is trying to send to you. And, you know, therefore, these kind of messages, whether they're from another person on this plane or from the universe itself. Instead, we want to be in an energy of listening, which again requires surrender. You see a nude feminine body here with eyes closed. That is complete vulnerability. That is complete surrender. And she's listening. And she's allowing. And then we have more of this energy of Aquarius too, with the star showing up. The star in the tarot does represent the sign of Aquarius and the planet Uranus, which is its ruler. And opposite message from afar, this has additional meaning and stronger meaning about the communication, because as an air sign, Aquarius is also all about communication, and particularly like the kind of an electronic means or using some sort of technology. That includes, as far as I'm concerned, telepathy. So, or you could be getting, again, on this plane, a call, a text or something, and be in tune and be open to allowing. But also you're going to have to be cognizant based on the last spread and aware of, you know, what may be a devil trying to enter your life as opposed to unconditional love. You know, I'm going to cut here. And it's spiritual growth. And the overall energy is, again, expectancy. So this week is going to have this overall message of the need to get out of our own way and to stop blocking our own blessings. And I think we saw that in the last spread too, with Chariot being the obstacle, right? The movement forward being the obstacle. You have to do that. So, divine feminine, the masculine as it relates to the feminine, himself, and the union as a whole this week. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine to do, contribute, surrender toward the union this week. What he himself is willing to. What the universe would recommend to both, but they will have to affirm to it. And the outcome. Divine feminine. Ooh, moon tree. I should have known this was going to show up somewhere. I just mentioned the moon, the fact that it enters Aquarius this week. And whenever there is a major transit like that, full moon, new moon, the moon shows up in my readings every single time without fail. That's something else that has not, served me wrong at all yet the whole time I've been doing these readings. So, but more importantly, I guess for everybody that's watching, this card is representative of sacred marriage. So this is our second card of marriage for the day, for the week. And it is about union, sacred marriage, sacred union, including the marriage or union between heaven and earth. So something coming together on a more universal level and around us, not just, within us. The masculine as it relates to the feminine this week for love and transience is back. So maybe with him focused on surrender too, and moving into this place of surrender and allowance so that he can be filled with light and love too. And he can be more vulnerable, let go of like the facade and the shell. When we talk about beware of people who aren't who you think they are, that could include us, if we're wearing a false mask. And it could be like, beware of yourself. Again, the need to get out of your own way. The masculine as it relates to himself this week and his guardian. So again, this naked female body, so this position of surrender, but also feeling strong, surrounded by, like fire kind of energy. So I would say the lion and strength, like a major arcana card, strength type of card. And again, vulnerable, allowing. So he's showing here, he's in this position of surrender, and it's showing up again here. But confident and knowing that he's not alone, that there's support from the universe. The union as a whole, from the perspective of the masculine, it is golden path. So we're on the right track, and this is going to be separate or apart. And even those of us who haven't met at all, we're on the right path. So individually and together. And we're headed toward more of this healing and continued spiritual growth, like just showed up a few moments ago. And union, healthy union. Healthier relationships in general. This card, as you know, if you've watched me before, is very representative of the Wizard of Oz for me. And because of all the rainbow colors here in the trees, it's like over there in the distance, over the rainbow, that's where dreams come true. But also because of this golden path, it's very reminiscent of the Yellow Brick Road. And, Dorothy and friends, they were headed down the Yellow Brick Road because at the end was the Emerald City. And that was where they were going to find healing. Well, the same goes for us. When the end is the Emerald Ray, and that's where we're going to find healing. So just stay on track, basically. Again, whether as an individual or couple. Overall, retreat. So we've got this energy of, it's reflective of a transition from like Earth energy and maybe Capricorn into Aquarius. With another star here, but this woman seated outside in the grass and flowers. So there's definitely a lot of earth coming through, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, and air. Although like the white light around her and movement, that's definitely air, but particularly with the star over her head. Again, the star represents the sign of Aquarius in the tarot. And so this can be about communicating with the universe, with God, your ancestors, however you make your intentions and go about manifestation. That's what this looks like to be about this week for us. What the masculine would have the feminine do, surrender, contribute toward the union this week, it is tantric union. So this is another card that, whether together in the physical or apart, is about a deep connection and telepathy, communication, speaking without words. And it can involve actual sex too, which is great. And so I'm not counting that out, that some of you guys, your masculine, doesn't want to connect in that way this week too. He absolutely does. What is he himself willing to do? And it is physical body. And more of this fire. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Mars himself, Jupiter himself, coming through to support the masculine. And this focus on, you know, self-love and self-healing. And again, more vulnerability, more nude female, more feminine energy of surrender. But the universe would have the to do, and it is emergence. So another card like about rising like the phoenix, like we saw from the first deck. If you've been going through something, you know, just trust that you are going to bounce back. And some of us may be in this process already. And just know that if you commit to yourself and to the process, that the universe is going to give you its full support, guardian. And the outcome, relationship. This card is about our relationships with other people. Like I talked about here, strengthening relationships with other people, but also that if we haven't yet gotten to that point, working on the relationship with ourselves and improving that. And that self-love, like the masculine is giving to himself, is definitely what's needed to get to this place of marriage with other people. From the perspective of the universe, I'm beginning with freedom. So this is more Aquarian energy, maybe because the sun, moon, and Mercury are all there. And breaking free of things with which we no longer resonate. This can also be connected to Venus in Capricorn, which is about like the complete inability at this point to continue to do stuff with which we don't align. It's sort of like Venus and Saturn forcing us to address these things with which we don't align and forcing us to face them and to break free of what doesn't work. Venus, of course, ruler of 2 air signs, Libra and Gemini, and also Taurus, where Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is currently located. And opening to True Gem, speaking of Gemini. I don't know what the light is doing. This is really crazy. I turned it completely around. Like I turned it that way. It's like, no. True Gem. True Gem can be about a gift or something that's coming. So a surprise, right? Good luck and fortune. Maybe this is connected to the Chinese New Year. Can be about the, you know, an actual Gemini or air sign. Marriage, engagement. And in a metaphoric sense, it can like correlate to your self-worth and that love and the value of yourself and of your relationships, other people to you, your union. Opposite courting man, it can definitely be any of those things, you know, amplified. Again, we can have the energy of engagement here or making some sort of proposal. Can I take you out? Right, that's a proposal too. Courting man. And gossip. Maybe that's something somebody would have something to say about. Not minding their fucking business. Courting man and karma. They can also be, you know, people coming into play because of karma. And also this can have 2 meanings. It can be attached to that person of whom we need to beware, as in like a karmic, you know, a karmic soulmate, because all soulmates are karmic, to be honest with you. But the one that's been, you know, come to be known as like a derogatory term, a karmic soulmate. And it can also be about things coming together because they are destined. Because like I said, all soulmates are karmic. If we're being, you know, honest and real about the way this works. Courting man. Oh, goodness. And it is beauty queen, speaking of Venus. So I talked in the general reading specifically about beauty and how some of the things that Venus was going to force us to do, or Venus being in Capricorn was going to force us to do as it relates to beauty. So if you haven't seen that, you may want to check it out. But Venus, of course, is the goddess and planet of beauty and confidence and love and money or abundance in all forms. And this woman looks very full of all of those. Overall energy is control. So there could be some manipulation. This could be about us relinquishing control of ourselves. So like connected to expectancy, and you stop trying to control things and allow the universe to do what it does, because it's so much better at everything than you are, than we are. Or it can be about another person, right? Somebody that's trying to pull you around by strings, that temptation sort of person. Like, well, what about my money? The money I have, because there's a lot of women and a lot of men that control, their mates by money. That's for example. Sometimes it's parents. Oh, well, you're going to leave home. How are you going to take care of yourself? I'm paying for everything here, but I'm not going to pay if you go be with that motherfucker. Let's keep it real. So there's like that, those types of situations that can be what this overall energy of control is about from what I'm feeling. But we started with freedom. I want you to remember. So we started with this energy of the need to break free from shit like this. Divine being or couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self specifically. Blocks to our individual progress or union together. What the feminine can do to help herself and what the masculine can. Advice for the two from the universe, but they will have to affirm. And the outcome. I do it for those who've never watched me before from the perspective of the masculine in this place, his higher self, because, well, first of all, I just did the feminine's higher self in the other spread, but also because my viewership is largely feminine. So what the information we need more so is that of what's going on with the masculine as it relates to these spreads. All right. Divine being or couple. Boom. More moon and dating. So it's very Two of Cups type of card, filled with red wine specifically. So there's this passion coming from it. More of this energy of, again, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but also water signs coming into play, maybe specifically too, with the moon being here. The moon rules the sign of Cancer, but in the tarot, it is connected to the sign of Pisces. And the Two of Cups is also, connected to the energy of Scorpio as well. That's a nice place to start. Recent past. Long distance. So you may have recently come back into communication with somebody or heard, from someone long distance, or even if you were in physical contact before, gotten closer, like there was some sort of gap, there was a disconnect, and that's begun to fill for some of us. I think it will continue to, like there's a steady progress. It feels kind of slow moving, to be honest. But I do feel a steady progress here. So those who haven't felt this energy yet, or like awaiting something like this, yours is coming too. Near future, destiny. That's why. That's why it's coming no matter what, because, that's how destiny works. Right? What's meant for us is going to be ours. That makes sense. Masculine's higher self. Friendship. Interesting. But when this card shows up, especially here, like sitting atop this distance that I felt between the people, and like I said, that I feel that gap is going to be filled, and crossing the dating, it's definitely wanting to build a foundation for a greater relationship. This is not talking about their other friends. This is talking about as it relates to somebody with whom they might be able to see themselves, you know, building a life. We need to start out as friends and build a foundation from there. Blocks to our progress, mature woman. For some, this is literal because right away I also heard older woman. Well, I just mentioned a few moments ago somebody's mother, perhaps, or maybe their actual woman, or, you know, mate in general, male or female, is what this control or block is. When I picked this up, underneath it upright was communication. So this thing is getting in the way of communication with one's true love, right? May also be one's past love. Can be a younger male or somebody that's like really youthful, maybe a mutable sign, Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius. Someone that looks particularly young, even if they're not, you know, again, they're just a youthful kind of person. That may be from whom we are blocked. And it may be the mature woman who is meant for this young man, particularly if it is an age gap, if it's literal. And the block is that she's older or that he's younger and that, you know, they're allowing that to get in the way. Or, you know, one or both is allowing it to get in the way. What the feminine can do this week to help herself, keep it moving. You just keep progressing. You just keep moving forward. Travel has a very chariot feel to me from the traditional tarot. And it is about moving. It can be literal for some of us. Some of us may be moving. Some of us may be actually traveling. It can be about revisiting situations for me too, right? It's something that we couldn't quite get it to work before, or again, we were distant. We need to revisit our friendship, revisit our dating, and like give it a second go, a second try, see how it works out. So the feminine needing to be open to all those things. And going with the flow, again, because this is destiny. So it's like what's meant needs to be meant, and you need to get out of your own way and stop being an obstacle to it, right? Stop fighting it. What the masculine can do, he got love again. He got love in the other spreads too. Love, right? He got love in all three spreads. The first one was love, plain old love. The second one was that like physical self-love, and now he's getting new love, which can definitely be love anew or renewed, again, revisited, and perhaps with the energy of the new moon, because that tends to do that sort of thing too, like revive love. And what the universe recommends to both, and this is like the same kind of card too. It's family. So this is like unity. Again, coming together. A very happy and positive party of three. And maybe like a 3 of cups sort of thing. Right? Reunion. Or building together. Slowly, steadily. We have it crossing this long distance, which is another energy of 3 for me. Because there's this boat here with the 3 sails. So building that, creating. 3s are about creating. In numerology and angel numbers, 3s are about creating, creation, the creator as in God, all of that. So definitely co-creating and building together. And the outcome. Blonde female. Very nice. Blonde female is my representation in this deck of Divine Feminine. So if this is the outcome and crossing family and new love, and even sitting next to mature woman, this is another, again, indication of union this week for people. You know, whatever that means. I usually don't even like to speak like that, because when people talk about union, they get, I know the prophecies, and I know, the scriptures. So I know that union, that the way we see it, is not ultimately the union that the universe has, planned or prepared for us. So when people say, oh yeah, union this week, like I see all these headlines, these like clickbait readings and stuff, headlines and titles for readings and stuff. Union this week, union coming, I'm masculine back this week for good, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, that's not up to us. And for it to really be true, it requires the prophecies to be fulfilled. From where I stand, if somebody's really considering themselves truly a twin flame, which is twin flame is a man-made term and concept based on the illumined ones in the scriptures and prophecies, and the elect, the members of the elect. So if you are truly one of those beings, then your process is you believe yourself one of those beings. That means you believe in the process. So you believe in the prophecies and the scriptures as it relates to those beings. And so you're not having union in the sense that the universe wants it on your own, right? It's a whole thing that requires the prophecies to be fulfilled. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. I think with that, I'm just going to do advice, actually, because, again, I do want to be able to upload this without any problem. I'm just going to give these a quick shuffle in case one of those cards wants to come back. But in the meantime, I'm not even showing you what I'm doing. I've come to world. Be open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. So be open to letting go, again, of something that's dead, that's not working, or the familiar and the comfortable, and exploring something new that the universe is trying to prevent you with. Get out of your own way and allow for blessings to come in. And it's opposite the moon, because again, the moon always shows up for my readings. And this is pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. Exactly what I told you in the beginning of the reading with the first spread. World and mountain. Know that you are protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. In the world. So just trying to give these a little shuffle. I guess they wanted us to see fire, let go of emotional upheaval, and embrace the renewal of the present. So another message about that. An owl, the card with which I started this reading in the first place. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. So I spoke about how this week seemed to be about manifestation, and I'm beginning with manifestation power for a change. We've been starting with be willing to forgive for weeks, but manifestation power popped up today. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract and your desired outcome. And had I used the regular tarot, I was going to begin with the Magician, which is also about manifestation. There is magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. The Magician represents the sign of Gemini. So masculine, from the Animal Tarot this week for you, the Ace of Winter. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. So we've seen this a few times in this reading, this kind of message of there may be some bumps ahead in the road, there may be some challenges, but keep going confidently. You've got this and the universe has got you. So you're getting this message again. You're getting some sort of new start, masculine. Feminine, for us from the Animal Tarot, the Four of Spring. Like I said, some of us may be moving. This can have to do with a new home, or getting engaged, getting married even, or moving in together, becoming a family, deciding to start building a family. This can be entering commitment or visiting commitment, starting to talk about it. Whatever would bring you that sort of peace and contentment and happiness and joy. Again, Adar is the month of joy. Did I mention that? I mentioned it in the general. I explained how the Adar, the Hebrew month of Adar, which starts this week, is the month of joy. And so this is your joy. It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life, and relationships and things. This is the Four of Wands, essentially. So that's a marriage card, a commitment card, a family card. Masculine, from the angel, rather, therapy cards from the angels. Crystals. The energy of crystals supports you and helps with your present situation. You may need to put something under your bed. Feminine, fairies. You have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. Masculine, forgiveness. I said it didn't show up before, but it's here now. Forgiveness. So be open to forgive and to seek forgiveness. And feminine, balance. This is a card of temperance. This is healing energy coming to you from the universe. Represents the sign of Sagittarius, but also Aquarius as it relates to specifically temperance. But for me, this card here, communication, something that needs to be said, something that needs to come out. Masculine, for you from the fortune cards, birth. Universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. Feminine, for us lovers, there are two paths ahead. Be sure to choose, to be true to yourself when you're choosing. So that temptation and the real one. And here's the temptation, fair male. This is this can just be a Capricorn in your life, to be honest. But this is the representation of the karmic masculine energy for me in this deck. And, oh, yep, there he is. Party of three, triangle. So it can definitely be, again, the real one and the temptation. Choose wisely. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the love reading. I'll be back with the moon reading. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Namaste.